All right. So we are live. So let me share this first. Let me share the live. Let me share the live. So we are live. Let me. So this is the price analysis for the week, and as you can see, during the week we had something. During the week, we had a trade, GBP, JPY, which was activated, but it never reached TP because it was opened on a Tuesday, but they closed on the next Wednesday before the trade got here. But if I had sat down and looked at the trade, I would have closed here. Why? I didn't see this level. I didn't see this level. And when I'm looking at things such as trades, for example, for the week, what you should be doing, you should be going to things like the daily time frame rather the weekly time frame because you're now looking at the week. And how did I anticipate that GBP JPY will be bullish? Is because of first, I have a tool that I use. Let me show you. I have a tool that I use and I have shown it in a previous video that shows me whereby or rather where the market will be going for some time. Like I use that tool to analyze the market, and so this is it. So the tool is fastbull.com. So you come to product section data. Now we are looking at data so that you can anticipate where the market is going. CPI, if you remember, it was not as good as supposed because it went up, then went down, and it has been ranging. And I think that is because of next month. The US currency, as you're speaking, is very, 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 very in a position whereby we can't even say what is happening. Like CPI has been very, very, like literally bad, and I can't even say. So let me do something. Meanwhile, let me do something meanwhile. But CPI, according to data, NFP. For those that remember NFP, um, it was very bullish. NFP, if I can remember, it was very bullish, and it gave a certain push on GBP JPY that broke this level. Actually, this was NFP, if you can see. This was NFP. So I've been waiting for the market to come here. And as you can see, GBP JPY since NFP, it hasn't done anything for close to a whole week. And why is that? Is because I do understand that GBP JPY has a lot and a lot of potential. That is one thing I do understand. Let me do something. Uh, so I'm inviting more people. I'm inviting more people. So so Just a minute, just a minute. For example, if you haven't joined the Telegram group, I think you're missing a lot. I do believe that you're missing a lot. For now, so as WhatsApp is loading, let me show you what I'm saying. As you can see, CPI has been very bearish for some time, and we're speaking about CPI only. So it has been bearish for some time, it has been dropping, but non-farm payrolls are rising. As you can see, they are risen and they have broken the previous high. Even when I'm personally, even when I'm analyzing news, I also analyze it based on technical analysis, and that kind of brings a very broader perspective to me. That is how I look at news. Now, non-farm payroll, employed non-farm payroll. This is more of the number of people that have been employed. Let us look at it. Um, um, just a minute. And CPI is core price index, meaning, as for me, it makes sense if the number of people that have been employed is higher, but people that are buying are lower. I think that is a low a low income for the industry. And as you know, if an industry is low income, there's a high chances the market may push. But I'm not trying to say that NFP and CPI are the main factors. I'm also trying to understand that, as you know, we have news. We have news that has been looking at us for some time. News, US, actually, US, US, how do we call it? US elections. US elections have been pretty tough. And for some time. So I do believe that the market is going to be impacted the next week by US news, because remember, the um, um, we have elections, US elections. I don't know why I'm lagging, but there is something that there are a lot of things. So US election is going to be dates. So the date is going to be November 5th. November 5th will be on a Tuesday, meaning we will have an NFP before elections. And remember, that day is going to be a very volatile day. So for those that can be trading, I can advise you to stay away. But those that like volatility, we might experience a lot of volatility. Let me show you. We are going to have the election Tuesday, 5th November 2024, meaning we're going to have a lot of volatility that day. And it is also said that if, in case Trump is favorable for the industries, because Kamala Harris, as those that have heard, she is more talking about reducing, and she is more on the favoring of the middle class and the low class, while Trump is always and has always been for the billionaires, for the big boys. And as you know, the big boys are the ones that move the market. So if Trump is has a lot of edge, then there is a high chances of the market edging upwards. But if Trump has a lower edge, then there is a market of going downwards. But I'm not saying that that is the only thing that we're looking at. I also do believe that the fact that the news is the election is closer, we're going to have very data that is not as serious and as possible. As you can see, employment rate has been dropping, meaning US, more people are being hired, and as you can see, that one with the non-farm payroll, but people are not buying. CPI, core price index. I'm not sure if this is more about people buying or the prices at which um let me look at something. Oh, oh, so core price index CPI measures the changes in price of goods and services. Meaning, if the changes are lower, and as you can see on CPI, we had a lower, we had a negative number, I think. What was the actual number? We had a 2.41%, when previous we had a 2.53%, meaning the change is smaller. Meaning there is like, how do we call it? If the change is smaller or the change is going down, because most of the time I do expect the change to be bigger so that I can buy more. And if people are not buying more, then it means the industry are not making more. Remember, we had a positive NFP, meaning most people were hired. Personally, according to what I believe, is that we're going to have a negative impact on the market. Funny enough, for those that have been trading, are also looking at your study. I also look at your study because you, as you know, your study kind of looks at the big uh, industry. Your study has been very bullish, very bullish. Actually, we're speaking about the highest high possible was reached on Monday, not Monday actually, but Friday. That was the highest high. The prices are pushing upwards, but we have a negative CPI. So I don't know how the market has been surviving. And personally, if you are trading the US 30, I think you should be focusing more on buying until otherwise. Until otherwise. Because I'm seeing a negative price index, meaning I'm seeing a low, we having a selling period from what I'm seeing because of CPI, but we are still bullish. So you can't just start selling because of the fact that data claims that you should sell. Now, we also have gold, and I'll show you something on gold, XAU USD, XAU USD. So on gold, something funny has been happening. Someone told me that gold has been ranging for some time. And when you're speaking about for some time, he meant for some time. Because as you can see, pushed above, we were very bullish, formed a very nice low. Once we formed a very nice low, pushed a little bit. Once we pushed a little bit, we broke the previous low. So for those that are trading break SMC rather, break of structure and so on, market structure, my fault, all might claim that this is kind of change in character. This one, because this is a major swing. This is a major swing. So this one might be a change in character. But and as you can see, we are currently in a very nice trend line, forward trend line, which is downwards. But as you can see, also we are very bullish. Like we have pushed for some time. And also, this point makes sense because it is on this trend line. Now, on the data, oh, I've not been showing you this stuff. My fault. As you can see, we are very bullish on gold. We are very bullish on gold, very bullish. But NFP came and gave gold a negative push. For those that remember, NFP gave gold a sell. And I actually saw that sell, and I'll tell you why. Because we are pushed upwards, and according to market structure, this is kind of a change in character. The market came, broke it, came and retest. The way I trade it is I'm looking for something. For example, this will have been my entry point. This one, where is it? I'm seeing a supply area here, but came broke above. So that one kind of tells me something else. But we're also touching this trend line. So what will happen for gold? I think on Monday, don't trade gold. Wait for it to tell you what it wants to do. Once it has told you what to do, then you can look at if you want to trade gold or if you don't want to trade gold. Now, on the data part, fastbull.com, calm institutional data. This is a very nice place, and this is the main reason why I was saying I saw gold push downwards during NFP. It was because of this data. Most commercial positions are selling gold. Most commercial positions are selling gold. Actually, I've started seeing a rise in gold. So meaning most of them have started buying. Now, if you can see, when was NFP? When is today? 10th. We were down here. At least currently 10th 7, meaning they bought gold. Or today is 13th. Um, they bought gold. Today's one. Today is Sunday, 13th. Tomorrow will be Monday, 14th. Meaning they bought gold last Monday. Last Monday. And I think that kind of makes sense because we had a negative impact on NFP, but commercial buying. Also, if you look at non-commercial positions, I think they are also buying gold. Okay, they are also selling gold. Non-commercial positions are now the investors, the small investors. For example, if you have money, you look for a financial advisor. The financial advisor will now give you a place to invest. As you can see, we have gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and oil. Oil is WTI, which is the West Texas Index, something like that. So gold was pushing upwards for some time, but they have started selling. As you can see, the number is going downwards, but commercial positions are buying. Normally, I tend to follow commercial positions because non-commercial positions, these are investors that are willing to hold it for some time. These are investors that it is just a store of wealth, but commercial positions are buying it for profit. Even if they keep it for some time, but they are putting it for profit. But non-commercial positions are storing wealth. They take it, buy gold, put it somewhere so that they can sell it for some time. So I think now it is the time when they want to sell. So for gold, continue looking at buys. For gold, continue looking at buys. And it makes sense. As I told you, USD is looking very bearish because of data and so on and so forth, because we have a negative ROI, or we have a negative logic. Let me use the term logic. We have a negative logic between NFP and CPI. CPI is the amount of money, is the index at which the amount of products have changed. For example, if the previous month we had gold, or rather water, milk. Let me use milk. Milk was at $30. Then the next month, milk is at $31. But more people are hired. More people hired, meaning there is a large number hired than the amount that the company is making. So to me, that kind of brings a negative something. I don't know if you understand, but to me, it kind of brings a negative vibe. And so I think USD is going to be very bearish for some time, and so gold is going to be bullish. Gold is going to be bullish, and I was saying that it's going to be bearish because I didn't look at data, but I think it is going to be bullish because USD is going to be bearish. We have large commercial positions buying gold. Let us look at also something sentiments. What are people now doing? What are people doing? Then I'll show you something. One thing, market trends. I think it is on market trends. I'll show you two things on gold before we go for something like the JPY. So as you can see, gold is XAU USD. XAU USD, most people are buying than selling, though we are at 50-50. Now, When I always look at sentiments and they see 50-50, I normally tend to lie or rather side with the commercial positions. When I see sentiments as is at 50-50, I'll always side with commercial positions. Why? Because at this point, commercial positions are now the strongest. Actually, no. This is XAUUSD. I was looking at XAGUSD. XAGUSD is silver, I think. XAUUSD, 30% are buying, 60% are selling, meaning more people are selling than buying. Let me tell you, start buying. Start buying. But that is until you've found your confirmations. Don't just go open the market and most people are selling, but these are retailers. These are data from retailers, and that is why you'll see brokers. And when they are taking the data from brokers, then they're displaying it here, meaning most people are buying. And when most people are buying, let us look at order book now. Where have institutions placed orders? What is the how are orders of the institution doing? As you can see, institutions that most institutions are in profit that are selling. The institutions are in profit that are selling. So, and there is less institutions that are buying, which kind of doesn't make sense to me. But as you can see, we also have more sell limits. We'll have more sell limits. So, what do I think about that? If you have a lot of sell limits, we are going to hit most of these sell limits, because if you can see, we have a lot of sell limits and also a couple of buy limits, but they are low. The positions that are below here are in loss, meaning these are the people that sold here, then the market tried to push up, meaning we have a lot of sells. How I hope this is gold. Yeah, it is gold. We have a lot of sells. Buy limits are lower. Buy limits are lower. Buy stops is here. So what am I trying to look at? There's a high chances that we're going to push down a little bit before we start pushing up. Push down a little bit before we start pushing up. Push down a little bit before we start pushing up. This data was taken October date 11, 2024. So I think we're going to push down a little bit before we start pushing up. As you can see, gold has a lot of data. It is saying buy, it is saying sell, and that is the main reason why I don't vibe well with gold. That is the main reason why I don't vibe well with gold. So let me try to look at the JPY. Normally, the JPY is against the other market, and for me, I've been looking at GBP JPY, for example. It has been holding a certain position here on the 4 hours. You can see the first touch, second touch, third touch, fourth touch. Those that know, it is forming an ascending triangle, but the technical people, this is an area where when the market comes, sells rapidly, hits, sells rapidly, but there are buyers that don't, because if you can see, let me show you something. These lower positions, these are areas where the buyers are entering, as you know, normally technical. When the market sells, when the sellers enter here, the buyers push the market upwards. Then the buyers enter without making their positions go to lose, because they entered here, so their positions don't go to lose. And as you can see, something like this, I think at this position, another buyer added more, how do we call it? More orders. At this position, more orders. At this position, more orders. But remember, the sellers are at risk, because if I sold from here to here and the buyers are becoming stronger, the next time I tried to sell it from here and here, my position, the buyer position didn't go at a loss, because as you know, the market is more about when I sell, you buy. When the buy position is in profit, you sell, then I take your money. So when the buying position is not in loss, but the seller's position are very strong, very strong. So what do I believe? that there is a high chances that we're going to break and go above. And when we go above, I'm looking at this area. I'm looking at this area, or also something above, because we are also on a very nice demand zone. So I think we might reach above here uh, for some time. But that is just speculation. I'm also seeing the same thing on USD, JPY. JPY, USD JPY, I'm looking for sales, but no confirmation. No confirmation. So most of these things I'm just saying based on data, but when I sit down, I'll be looking for confirmations, I'll be looking for trend setups, trend lines, meaning I'll be backing up my technicals with my fundamentals. It is not fundamentals with technicals. For me, it is technicals with fundamentals, so that I don't get confused, because fundamentals can make sure you are confused. Fundamentals can just make sure that you are confused well. So let us look at GBP JPY. What is happening at GBP JPY? What are most players doing? As you can see, GBP JPY, most people on the buy side, we have some very heavy positions. As you can see, we have a very heavy position that is in loss yet, and it is at 94,900. 94,900. 94,900. It is just 10 pips from where we closed on the weekend. So there is a bank that bought at this place. There is a bank that bought at that place. So there is a higher chances we're going to push upwards because of that. And if you can look at it, this is the largest position in the whole game. We don't have a lot of orders here. We don't have a lot of orders here. As you can see, just some small orders, but also these peaks. For example, these peaks, you should also look at them. When the market gets to 9,300, start looking for buy positions. When the market gets to um, um 9,500, you also have a buy stop at that position, meaning we're going to push above, so that you can feel it. And it is not as heavy, but it's heavier than the rest of the position. Sell position, we're looking at 9,600. Also look at this point, we have 0.96, 0.49. This area we might have some retracement, so you look at that position. But for GBP JPY, look for more buys, look for more buys, look for more buys. Actually, I'm waiting for confirmation from that structure. Once I get the structure confirmation, I'm going to open it. Now let us go to USD JPY. Looking at data now, USD JPY is not as clean. USD JPY is not as clean. Why? We have more selling positions, we also have more buying position. She We have selling position and more buying position. And I'm sure most of these positions are based on Japanese bank. Actually, it is not Japanese bank, it is the US bank, because we saw it on GBP, JPY. On GJ, we were very nice, but here we on UJ, we are kind of very rapid, meaning there is a higher chances of the market being how do we call it, of the market having some problem. Now, if you can look at something at GJ, around these places, we don't have a lot of orders, but a lot of orders around are now around this area. So we look at something like 0.949 and to something like here. And that is why GJ hasn't done anything during the week, because we have a lot of pull me, I pull you, pull me, I pull you, pull me, I pull you. That is why JJ hasn't done a lot. Imagine this is from Monday, this Friday, Monday till today. Like there is just nothing. There is just nothing that has happened. So for GJ, let us wait for most of the orders to settle. As you can see, we have more sell orders. We also have a lot of sell stops. Meaning, I think UJ, we might start pushing lower. As I was saying, remember I said USD might start pushing low. So for me, I think UJ might start pushing low. Remember, you don't trade based on sentiment. You trade based on what you have. If you get to the market and in the market it tells you sell, you sell. When you get the market and it tells you buy, you buy. So personally, I was looking at these three things. I think it's catered for GBP pair, uh, JPY pair. For example, anything that is something J, any USD pair, look at it at a selling perspective. But if you see a buying position, don't hold too much. Okay, if you see a buying position, just take some small pips, get out of the market. But if you see a sell position, you can look for selling in opportunities. GBP JPY, we are looking at what were we looking at? Imagine I've forgotten. My fault, my fault. Oh shit, my fault. Yeah. So GBP JPY, we are looking at buying because we have a big order that is around this area, meaning we might look to push towards here. So US30, I don't have a lot of data, but all I know is that we are pushing upward because of the 30 companies. How are the 30 companies doing? Maybe they're doing well, and they are what are pushing the market. But based on sentiments, US 30 just trade it based on data. But I think at one point we might have some maybe retest, because I'm also looking. This has been a ranging position, so we might retest somewhere here before we continue pushing upwards, or so or not so. So we just look at the market and how it will do. So for now, that is all I have. Let me close uh, uh, for the week. Let me close for the week. Those are just what I have.